When little Emma found the orange cat in the rain, she didn't know her mom would cry. But when Mom saw his white paws and wise eyes, something incredible happened. It happened on that rainy day. The day when 5-year-old Emma missed her grandma the most. 2 months had passed. But Emma still waited for Grandma to come back. Little Emma stood by the window. Raindrops rolled down the glass. She drew hearts on the foggy window. She had reddish hair and big green eyes. Just like Grandma's. Emma wore her favorite pink jacket. It had unicorns with rainbow manis. Mom bought this jacket last month. Emma wore it every day. Outside the window was rain. Heavy autumn rain in Atlanta. Leaves turned yellow on the old oak trees. Emma loved watching the rain. But today something was different. Something moved by the garbage can. Emma pressed her nose to the glass. A small orange ball sat there. It shivered from the cold. "Oh!" Emma gasped. It was a cat. An old orange cat with white paws. He hid under a cardboard box. Rain soaked his fur. The cat looked very sad. Emma ran to Mom. Mom was cooking dinner in the kitchen. The smell of stewed chicken filled the house. "Mom! There's a cat!" Emma said. Mom looked out the window. She saw the orange cat. He still sat under the box. The rain got stronger. "Poor thing," Mom said. "He's soaked through." Emma took Mom's hand. Her little fingers were warm. She looked at Mom with big eyes. "Can I help him?" Emma asked. Mom thought for a minute. Then she nodded. They took an old towel from the bathroom. Emma put on her rubber boots. Pink ones with strawberries. They went out in the rain together. Emma held the towel. Mom carried a bowl of warm milk. The cat saw them and got scared. He wanted to run away. But he was too weak. Emma crouched down. She reached her hand toward the cat. "Don't be afraid," she whispered. "I won't hurt you." The cat looked at her. His eyes held tiredness, sadness, but also hope. Emma spoke softly and kindly. "You're very beautiful," she said. "Your fur is so orange. Like my hair." The cat slowly came closer. He sniffed Emma's hand, then rubbed his head against it. Emma laughed with joy. Mom put down the bowl of milk. The cat began to lap it up. His little tongue was pink. Emma wrapped him in the towel. The cat didn't resist. "What's his name?" Emma asked. The cat wore an old collar around his neck. The wet tag was barely readable. Mom looked closer. "Charlie," she read. "His name is Charlie." Emma repeated the name several times. "Charlie, Charlie, Charlie." The cat seemed to like this name. He purred for the first time. They brought Charlie into the garage. It was dry and warm there. Emma made him a soft blanket bed. Mom brought more milk and some tuna. Charlie ate hungrily. He hadn't eaten for many days. Emma sat nearby and petted him. His fur slowly dried. "Can he stay?" Emma asked. Mom became sad. She remembered about Dad. Dad was allergic to cat fur. He sneezed and coughed. His eyes turned red and watery. "I don't know, sweetie," Mom said. "Daddy can't live with cats." Emma didn't understand. Why couldn't Daddy? Charlie was so good and sweet. He didn't bite anyone. Didn't scratch furniture. "But he has nowhere to go," Emma said. Mom hugged her daughter. Emma was so kind. She always wanted to help everyone. Birds, dogs, even ants. "We'll try to find him a home," Mom promised. Emma nodded. But in her heart she hoped. Hoped that Charlie would stay with them. Forever. Charlie fell asleep on the blanket. He purred in his sleep. Emma sat nearby and watched. Something about this cat was familiar. His orange fur. White paws. Wise green eyes. Emma had seen him somewhere. But where? And why did he appear today? Suddenly her heart skipped. This cat, he looked like the one in Grandma's photo. That old photo on the dresser. But that was impossible. That cat lived long ago. She remembered and remembered. Until Mom called for dinner. Emma kissed Charlie on the head. Promised to return after dinner. But one thought spun in her head, what if this wasn't a coincidence? At the table she told Daddy. About the rain, about the cat, about the rescue. Dad listened carefully. Then sighed. Emma, you know about my allergies, he said. But he's very good, Emma convinced. Dad looked at Mom. Mom shrugged. She wanted to help the cat too. But Dad's health was more important. Tomorrow we'll call the shelter, Dad said. Emma became sad. The shelter? Poor Charlie. He would be alone there. Without friends and family. After dinner she ran to the garage. Charlie wasn't sleeping. He sat looking out the window. His little face showed sadness. Don't be sad, Emma said. I'll think of something. She didn't know what. But she would definitely think of something. Charlie didn't deserve the shelter. He deserved a home. Love. Emma fell asleep in the garage. Next to Charlie. Mom found them in the morning. They slept in each other's arms. The little girl and the orange cat. And that's when Mom noticed something strange. On Charlie's old collar was a phone number. The same number that once belonged to Emma's grandma. This was the beginning of an extraordinary story. A story that would change everything Emma knew about life and death. About love stronger than time. But the biggest surprise was still ahead. The phone number on Charlie's collar was just the beginning. What Emma discovered in Grandma's old photo album would shock everyone. Emma woke up early the next morning. Charlie was still sleeping on the blanket. His orange fur looked fluffy and clean now. He seemed peaceful. Like he belonged here. But Emma couldn't forget about the phone number. She had to know the truth. Who did Charlie belong to? And why did that number seem so familiar? She tiptoed into the house. Mom was making breakfast. The smell of pancakes filled the kitchen. Dad was reading his newspaper and drinking coffee. Mom, Emma whispered. Can we look at Grandma's photo album? Mom's eyes became sad. But she nodded. They hadn't looked at Grandma's photos since the funeral. It was too painful. But Emma needed to see something. They sat on the living room couch. Mom brought the old album. It had a brown leather cover. The pages were yellow with age. Each photo told a story. Emma turned the pages carefully. There was Grandma as a young woman. Grandma with Grandpa. Grandma with baby Mom. So many memories. Then Emma stopped. Her heart skipped a beat. There on page 15 was the photo. Grandma sitting in a rocking chair. In her lap was an orange cat. With white paws. Mom, look! Emma pointed. Mom looked at the photo. Her face went pale. She touched the picture with her finger. The cat in the photo looked exactly like Charlie. Exactly? That's impossible, Mom whispered. This photo is 30 years old. Emma studied the photo more. The cat had the same green eyes. The same white pattern on his paws. Even the same wise expression. What was his name? Emma asked. Mom read the writing under the photo. In Grandma's handwriting it said, Me and Charlie, summer 1994. Emma's mouth fell open. Charlie. The same name. The same cat. But how could that be possible? Cats don't live that long, Mom said. Charlie would be over 30 years old. But Emma believed in magic. She believed in miracles. Maybe love was stronger than time. Maybe Grandma sent Charlie back to them. They heard a sound from the garage. A soft meowing. Charlie was awake. Emma ran to see him. Mom followed slowly behind. Charlie looked different this morning. More alert. More confident. When he saw Emma, he purred loudly. But when he saw Mom, something strange happened. The cat walked straight to Mom. He rubbed against her legs. Then he did something incredible. He walked to the corner of the garage, to an old box of Grandma's things. Charlie sat by the box and meowed, like he was trying to tell them something. Emma opened the box carefully. Inside were Grandma's old scarves, her reading glasses, a small wooden jewelry box. Charlie pawed at the jewelry box. Emma picked it up. Inside was a tiny key, and a note in Grandma's handwriting. For my Charlie's friend. Mom started crying. Soft tears rolled down her cheeks. She picked up Charlie and hugged him. He purred and nuzzled her face. I used to play with Charlie when I was little, Mom whispered. He was Grandma's best friend. They did everything together. Emma felt warm inside. This was meant to be. Charlie came back for a reason. To bring comfort. To bring love. To remind them that Grandma was still watching. But Dad wasn't convinced. When they showed him the photos, he shook his head. He still sneezed around Charlie. His eyes still watered. It's just a coincidence, Dad said. Lots of cats look alike. Emma felt frustrated. Why couldn't Dad see the magic? Why couldn't he understand? Charlie wasn't just any cat. He was special. That afternoon, Emma spent hours with Charlie. She showed him around the house. Through the window, of course. Charlie seemed to know every room. When they passed Grandma's old bedroom, Charlie got excited. He pawed at the window. He meowed loudly, like he remembered something important. You miss her too, Emma said. Don't you, Charlie? Charlie looked at Emma with his wise green eyes. In them, she saw sadness, but also hope. And something else. Something that looked like gratitude. That evening, the family had a meeting. They sat around the kitchen table. Charlie sat on Emma's lap. He was very quiet, like he understood. We called the shelter, Dad said. They can take Charlie tomorrow. Emma's heart broke. She looked down at Charlie. He was purring softly, trusting her to protect him. But what could a 5-year-old do? Please, Daddy, Emma begged. He's not just a cat. He's family. Dad looked at Mom. Mom looked at the photo album. The evidence was impossible to ignore. But Dad's allergies were real too. I'm sorry, Emma, Dad said. My health comes first. Emma ran to her room. She slammed the door. It wasn't fair. Grown-ups made all the decisions. They didn't listen to children, even when children were right. She lay on her bed and cried. Through her window, she could see the garage. Charlie was probably wondering where she went. Probably scared about tomorrow. That night, Emma couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Grandma. About the photo. About the mysterious key. What did Grandma's note mean? For my Charlie's friend. Around midnight she heard something. A soft scratching at her window. She looked outside. Charlie was sitting on the roof of the garage, looking right at her. How did he get up there? Cats could climb, but this seemed impossible. The garage roof was very high. There was no tree nearby. No ladder. Charlie meowed once. Softly. Then he did something amazing. He pointed his paw toward the backyard. Toward Grandma's old garden, where something glinted in the moonlight. Emma knew she had to follow. This was bigger than allergies. Bigger than shelter rules. This was about love. About family. About miracles. Tomorrow would change everything. Emma just didn't know how yet. But Charlie knew. He had been waiting 30 years for this moment. Waiting to complete Grandma's final wish. Waiting to bring something precious back to the family. The biggest secret was buried in the garden. and only Charlie remembered where. What Charlie led Emma to find in the midnight garden would make everyone believe in miracles. But first, she had to be brave enough to follow a ghost cat into the darkness. Emma waited until the house was completely quiet. Mom and Dad were sleeping. The only sound was Dad's soft snoring. She put on her pink unicorn slippers and tiptoed downstairs. The back door creaked softly. Emma winced. But nobody woke up. The night air was cool and crisp. October in Atlanta always smelled like fallen leaves. Charlie was waiting by the old oak tree. His orange fur seemed to glow in the moonlight. When he saw Emma, he purred once. Then started walking toward Grandma's garden. The garden had been empty since Grandma died. Mom was too sad to take care of it. The roses were overgrown. The vegetable patch was full of weeds. But something beautiful remained. Charlie walked straight to the corner, where Grandma's prized rosebush used to bloom. Pink roses that smelled like heaven. Emma remembered picking them with Grandma every summer. Charlie sat down and meowed. He pawed at the ground. Emma knelt beside him. The earth looked different here. Softer. Like someone had dug recently. "What is it, Charlie?" Emma whispered. Charlie meowed again. More urgently. He kept pawing the same spot. Emma started digging with her hands. The dirt was cool and damp. Her fingers hit something hard. Something smooth. She dug more carefully. Soon she could see a corner of something wooden. A small box buried in the earth. Emma's heart pounded. She dug faster. Charlie helped by pushing dirt with his paws. Finally, the box was free. It was about the size of a shoebox. Made of dark wood with brass corners. There was a small lock on the front. Emma remembered the tiny key from Grandma's jewelry box. She ran back to the garage. Charlie followed close behind. Her hands shook as she tried the key. It fit perfectly. The lock clicked open. Inside the box was something wrapped in soft white cloth. Something precious. Emma unwrapped it carefully. Then gasped. It was a doll. The most beautiful doll she had ever seen. It had brown curls and a blue dress. Tiny shoes and little white socks. But this wasn't just any doll. Emma recognized her. From the old photos. From Mom's stories. This was Rosie. Mom's favorite doll from when she was little. But Mom said Rosie was lost. Emma whispered. Charlie purred and rubbed against the doll. Like he remembered her too. Emma looked closer. There was an envelope in the box. With Mom's name written on it. Inside was a letter. In Grandma's handwriting. Emma couldn't read all the words. But she could read enough. My dear daughter, I saved Rosie for you to find. When you need to remember how much you are loved, Charlie will show you the way. He always comes back to those who need him most. Trust in love. Trust in miracles. Your loving mother. Emma started crying. Happy tears mixed with sad tears. Grandma had planned this. Even after she died, she was still taking care of them. Still showing love. Charlie meowed softly. Like he was saying, "Mission accomplished." Emma hugged him tight. His fur was so soft and warm. He purred against her cheek. We have to show Mom, Emma said. They crept back into the house. Emma climbed the stairs as quietly as possible. Charlie followed on silent paws. They went to Mom and Dad's bedroom. Emma touched Mom's shoulder gently. Mom woke up slowly. Then sat up fast when she saw Emma and Charlie. Emma! What are you doing? It's the middle of the night. Emma held out the doll. Look what Charlie found. Mom turned on the bedside lamp. When she saw Rosie, her face went completely white. She took the doll with trembling hands. This is impossible, Mom whispered. Rosie was lost when I was 8. We searched everywhere. Emma gave her the letter. Mom read it slowly. Tears streamed down her face. Happy tears this time. She hugged Rosie to her chest. Mom? Dad woke up rubbing his eyes. What's going on? Mom showed him the doll and the letter. Dad read it twice. He looked at Charlie. Then at the photo album. Then at the letter again. I don't understand, Dad said. How did the cat know where to dig? Emma climbed onto the bed. Charlie jumped up too. Usually Dad would sneeze. But tonight something was different. Tonight, Dad didn't sneeze at all. Charlie is special, Emma said. Grandma sent him back to help us. Dad looked at Charlie carefully. The cat stared back with wise green eyes. Like he was trying to communicate something important. Something about love and family and second chances. You know, Dad said slowly, I haven't sneezed once since I touched that letter. It was true. Dad's eyes weren't watery. His nose wasn't stuffy. For the first time in years, he could be near a cat without any problems. Mom gasped. It's like Grandma fixed your allergies too. Dad reached out carefully. He touched Charlie's head. Charlie purred loudly and rubbed against Dad's hand. No sneezing. No coughing. Nothing but peace. I can't explain it, Dad said. But something changed tonight. Emma grinned. She knew what changed. Love changed things. Miracles changed things. Grandma's love was so strong it could heal allergies. It could bring cats back from the past. It could make everything better. Can Charlie stay now? Emma asked. Dad looked at Mom. Mom looked at the doll. They both looked at the letter. Then they looked at Charlie, purring contentedly in Emma's arms. I think, Dad said carefully, that Charlie was always meant to be here. Emma squealed with joy. She hugged Charlie so tight he squeaked. But he didn't mind. He had waited 30 years for this moment. 30 years to complete Grandma's plan. The family sat together on the big bed. Mom held Rosie. Dad petted Charlie. Emma cuddled between them. For the first time since Grandma died, everything felt complete. How did you know to follow him? Mom asked. Emma thought about it. I just felt it. Like Grandma was whispering in my heart. Charlie meowed softly. Like he was agreeing. Like he was saying mission accomplished, and welcome home, and I love you too, all at once. Outside, the first rays of dawn crept through the window. A new day was beginning. A day when impossible things had become possible. When love had conquered everything. Charlie curled up on Emma's pillow. His purring filled the room like a lullaby. The same lullaby Grandma used to hum. The same one that promised everything would be okay. And for the first time in months, Emma knew it was true. But the biggest surprise was still coming. Because Charlie had one more gift from Grandma. One more miracle to share. And it would change their lives forever. 1 week later, Charlie brought Emma the biggest surprise of her life. What he led her to discover would turn a 5-year-old girl into the neighborhood's tiniest hero. Life with Charlie was magical. Every morning he woke Emma up with gentle purrs. Every evening he curled up in her lap while she watched cartoons. Dad's allergies never came back. It was like Grandma's love had healed everything. But Charlie seemed restless. Like he was waiting for something. He spent hours looking out the window. Watching the street. Listening for sounds only he could hear. What are you looking for? Emma asked him. Charlie just meowed and rubbed against her legs. But his green eyes held secrets. Like he had more work to do. One morning, Emma heard scratching at the back door. She found Charlie sitting there with a small brown puppy. The puppy was shivering and had a hurt paw. Oh my! Emma gasped. Where did you find him? Charlie meowed and led them to the puppy. The little dog looked up with sad brown eyes. He was so skinny. So scared. So much like Charlie had been. Emma scooped up the puppy carefully. Mom! Dad! Charlie found another friend. Her parents came running. When they saw the hurt puppy, they didn't hesitate. Dad got the car keys. Mom got a soft towel. They all drove to the animal hospital together. Dr. Martinez, the vet, examined the puppy. He's malnourished, but he'll be fine. Someone abandoned him near the park. Lucky Charlie found him. Emma looked at Charlie. The cat sat very still, very proud, like he knew exactly what he was doing. Can we keep him too? Emma asked. Mom and Dad looked at each other. Their house was getting full of animals. But something felt right about this. Like it was meant to be. We'll foster him until we find a good home, Dad said. Emma named the puppy Buddy. Charlie showed him around the house. Where to sleep. Where to eat. Where to hide when the vacuum cleaner came out. But this was just the beginning. Over the next few days, Charlie brought more animals. A lost kitten from under the bridge. An injured bird with a broken wing. A turtle who couldn't find the pond. It's like Charlie has a radar for animals in trouble, Mom said. Emma helped with all of them. She learned to feed baby bottles to kittens. To wrap bandages on hurt paws. To speak softly so scared animals would trust her. The neighborhood started talking. That little red-haired girl has magic with animals, Mrs. Peterson said. Just like her grandmother did. Emma's eyes went wide. Grandma helped animals too? Mom smiled sadly. All the time. She had a special fund for rescuing strays. I forgot all about it after she died. That night, Emma dreamed about Grandma. In the dream, Grandma was young again. She was feeding a whole yard full of animals. Cats, dogs, rabbits, even a deer. This is your gift now, Emma, Dream Grandma said. Love them all. Help them all. That's what angels do. Emma woke up with tears on her cheeks. Happy tears. She understood now. This was Grandma's biggest gift. Not just Charlie, but a calling. A purpose. She found Charlie in the kitchen. He was sitting next to a folder she'd never seen before. It was old and yellow, tied with a blue ribbon. Where did this come from? Emma asked. Charlie just purred. Emma opened the folder carefully. Inside were papers, legal documents, and a letter with her name on it. My dearest Emma, the letter began. If you're reading this, then Charlie has done his job. He has awakened the angel in your heart. Use this money to help God's smallest creatures. Be their voice. Be their hope. Be their hero. Love, Grandma. Emma ran to get Mom and Dad. When they read the papers, they couldn't believe it. Grandma had left a special fund. Thousands of dollars. Just for helping animals. She planned this whole thing, Dad said in amazement. But how did Charlie know about the folder? Mom asked. Emma looked at Charlie. He winked. Actually winked. Like he was saying, that's our secret. From that day on, everything changed. Emma's family became known as the Animal Rescue Family. Their garage became a temporary shelter. Their yard became a healing place. Emma learned to be gentle with scared animals, patient with hurt ones, brave when helping was dangerous. At 5 years old, she was already a hero. Charlie was always there, guiding her, teaching her, showing her which animals needed help most. He never got tired, never gave up. Like helping others gave him energy. One afternoon, a news reporter came to the house. She wanted to do a story about Emma and her rescue work. How did you know you wanted to help animals? The reporter asked. Emma thought carefully. My grandma sent me a special friend. He taught me that love is the strongest magic. And when you share it, it grows bigger. Charlie purred loudly from Emma's lap, like he was agreeing with every word. The story aired on the evening news. 5-year-old animal angel. The headline read. Emma giggled when she saw herself on TV. But she was proud too. More people started bringing animals to Emma's family. Word spread through social media. Hashtag Emma the Animal Angel became trending on TikTok. Videos of Emma helping animals got millions of views. But the most special moment came on a quiet Sunday morning. Emma was in the garden, now blooming again with new flowers. Charlie was chasing butterflies. Buddy was rolling in the grass. "Thank you, Grandma," Emma whispered to the sky. A warm breeze blew through her red hair. Like a gentle kiss. Like Grandma saying, "You're welcome, my angel." Charlie came and sat beside her. He looked older somehow. More tired. But deeply happy. Like his mission was almost complete. "You're not going away, are you?" Emma asked, suddenly worried. Charlie purred and nuzzled her cheek. In his green eyes she saw love. Endless, eternal love. The kind that never dies. Never leaves. Never forgets. 6 months later, Emma's family had helped over 50 animals. Some stayed with them. Most found wonderful new homes. All were loved. Emma kept a photo album of every animal they'd rescued. Charlie appeared in every picture. Always watching. Always protecting. Always loving. On Emma's 6th birthday, something magical happened. She woke up to find Charlie sitting by her window. But he wasn't alone. Outside were all the animals they'd ever helped. Cats, dogs, birds, even the turtle. They had come back to say thank you. To show Emma that love never disappears. It just grows and spreads and comes back in wonderful ways. Emma opened the window. All the animals gathered around. Charlie purred the loudest purr ever. Like he was saying, "This is why we do it. This is why love matters." That night, as Emma fell asleep, Charlie curled up beside her one more time. He whispered something in his cat language. Something that sounded like, "Sweet dreams, little angel." In the morning, Charlie was still there. Still purring. Still watching over Emma. Because some love is so strong, it really can last forever. And every day, somewhere in Atlanta, a little red-haired girl and an orange cat with white paws continue helping animals. Spreading love. Creating miracles. Just like Grandma always knew they would. Because the greatest gift isn't what you receive. It's what you give. And Emma learned that the best gifts keep giving forever. The end, or maybe the beginning.